Hi everyone, welcome to All Four Queens. Hope everyone's doing well this Saturday morning. I've done a little bit of stuff this morning. I actually got up this morning to the art of war. I kept hearing the art of war, so I did a bit of work on it this morning, and that's the session for today. However, I did then do obviously higher self. Sometimes I struggle a little bit with Bible. I do. I mean, I like to listen to the Bible in terms of listen to scripture through YouTube and stuff, because obviously reading it sometimes and then I sort of pick up on something that I need to look more deeply into, and also you can get to do other things as well, can't you? But this morning I had loads of songs come through, so I was listening to all the songs, and I was listening to Tina Turner, listening to Adele, listening to Lionel Richie, and I was listening to something else as well early on. But yeah, they were all coming through for a reason. And then obviously I'm starting to get a little bit closer to who's who in the game of let's keep a secret behind who I am type stuff. So anyway, the art of war. What you find in spiritual warfare, and it's a strange one, it really is, because a lot of people, there's loads of facets to it, and I'm trying to say in terms of how I explain it, because obviously when I get downloads, it sometimes they don't come in the way that I want to explain it, so I have to try and put it into words. So the art of war, because don't forget, we fight not the flesh, so we're fighting something that we can't see, but actually we know it's there because it's affecting aspects of our life, isn't it? And some elements of it is obviously when people want to be you, and I think that that's probably quite a big one in spiritual warfare, especially as we've now moved into 2024. And whilst we all went into lockdown, and I personally think lockdown was about the big shift in consciousness anyway, but I also have another theory, and maybe download really. I mean, we're all old souls, aren't we? We know on what that really was, and maybe I'll do a separate session, or maybe I'll do a live on that, but when I get my YouTube channel back. So yeah, so that was part of the point today, was I was asking about the question of that, because obviously they're God's messages, and whoever feels that they're God, you've got a bit of a rude awakening, because I know what your fate is, and it's not looking good. So when I think I did one on the early ones, what I said, what goes up must come down, and what goes around comes around, and you reap what you sow, and karma's spinning the block a bit, isn't it? So for me personally, this is a message of kindness and peace to those out there that have taken something so beautiful and distorted it and destroyed it for what it actually really is. And what do I mean by that? Voodoo and shamanism and all the things that were created years ago were created for healing purposes. It was a healing modality. It wasn't for creating destruction. And someone came along and decided to put a destructive spin on it. And I think for me, for those that have gone down that road and have sold the souls, because there are some people walking around soulless, you're not going to get your soul back, and you're not going to be able to clone into somebody else's. So I think, this whole thing of, yes, you might take the name, yes, you might take the birthday, yes, you might have the same birth chart, but you can never, ever, ever clone a soul's past destiny, and the knowledge and the wisdom that they've acquired on their journey within that soul. It's just not possible. And even if you try to do it, you're going to get stopped every time, because you're not the person that they gave that soul to, and there's a reason why they didn't give it you, and from your behaviour, that is why they didn't give it you, because they need people that understand how to operate. And if your only intent is to have for you and for selfish reasons, then you're not the right person for the soul in the first place. So I think everyone needs to take a step back on that. And in terms of destroying something that was so beautiful in terms of healing, I personally think we need to get back to that and stop with this this destruction, which obviously Mother Gaia is taking stance on anyway. So anyway, where am I going? The Art of War. So I was sitting and I was talking to, obviously as I do, and I started laughing because I asked the question, well, what one, the Art of War, and there's obviously the famous quotes from Sun Tzu, and I've got some, and I've got some scripture as well. But I was asking them, and they said to me, and they just said, hitting a brick wall. So I looked it up, and I just want to show you this. I mean, obviously I don't know how much I can piece on it, so I'm going to show you. But basically, and I sort of sat there and I said, but I'm not supposed to laugh at what's going on with other people. And they were like, no, you can. You're not administering karma, because karma is karma, but you're allowed to laugh because of, I'm not laughing at the fact they've got karma, but I am laughing at the circumstance I find myself in. And also I do believe in karmic justice. So I want to show you this because they made me laugh, so I want to show you it, because this is what they kept saying, hitting a brick wall. I'll turn it down because I don't know if I'm allowed to have the sound on, but I'm sorry. But you have to have some sort of laughter on this journey, because, they want everything and they're not getting it. So anyway, and this will probably be the title as well. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first, then seek to win. Sun Tzu. And I think, to be honest with you, that is so poignant, because if you look at what's happened, people have gone in for the attack, and now they're scrabbling around, hitting a brick wall, trying to win with fake documents, fake info, coming to people's homes, trying to create drama, trying to create all sorts, and also going to the point of saying that we are attacking them. But yet they've created the whole scenario in the first place, so it makes no sense. So, this is scripture. They will stumble repeatedly, they will fall over each other, and they will say, get up, let us go back to our own people and our native lands, away from the sword of the oppressor. And that's Jeremiah 46:16. You are my war club, my weapon for battle. With you I shatter nations, and with you I destroy kingdoms. And that's Jeremiah 51:20. Proclaim this among the nations, prepare for war. Rouse the warriors, let all the fighting men draw near and attack. Joel 3:9. Now, Sun Tzu. What is of the greatest importance in war is extraordinary speed. One cannot afford to neglect opportunity. In all fighting, the direct methods may be used for joining battle, but indirect methods will be needed in order to secure victory. Sun Tzu. Now, there's a piece of scripture I do want to read for you because it's interesting, and I'm going to get it now because I did so much this morning because I was just jotting down this morning. Right, so this is it. Yeah. Together, they will be like warriors in battle, trampling their enemy into the mud of streets. They will fight because the Lord is with them, and they will put their enemy horsemen to shame. Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted, and those who do so will bring judgment on themselves. For rulers hold no territory for those who do right, but for those who do wrong. Do you want to be free from fear of the one in authority? Then do what is right, and you will be commended. For the one in authority is God's servant for your good. But if you do wrong, be afraid, for rulers do not bear the sword for no reason. There are God's servants, agents of wrath, to bring punishment on the wrongdoer. Therefore, it is necessary to submit to the authorities, not only because of possible punishment, but also as a matter of conscience. I've read that, and that is Romans 13:1. And the reason why I've read that is because never judge a book by its cover. And I think that's going to be quite another one, another poignant one, and I might make that the title on this. People just look at people and they automatically judge something and go, oh, right, on their own, a nobody, I'm going to go after that and I'm going to have everything that I want. Now, the scripture, and I'm going to read it again. For rulers hold no territory for who do right, but for those who do wrong. Do you want to be free from fear of the one in authority? Now, in the previous one, I did ask that, is it hate or is it fear? Just because people walk around keeping themselves to themselves and they may look like a nobody, but everybody's a somebody, remember, doesn't mean they haven't got God on their side and the spiritual realm and the ancestors. And why do I say that? Because when you look at someone's chart, it doesn't tell you the journey they've been through. It doesn't tell you the trenches that they've had to go through to get to where they are. And it doesn't tell you how they got the stripes. All it tells you is what they're going to have in the future, but it doesn't tell you what they did in the past. So for me, I think this is just a word of kindness and love. Never judge a book by its cover, because you never know who is standing behind that book. And as scripture says, it doesn't matter who you are, the authority still sits with God and his kingdom and his spiritual realm. So all those in authority that came for me because of one person's lie and you didn't validate it, you're now in their karma. And I know there's loads going on, because that's why they were laughing with me this morning about hitting the brick wall. Sorry, I've got a bit of a skin. Because everybody's now scrambling around figuring out how they get out of the rabbit hole that someone put them in. And I'm hearing it all the time. Everyone's just scrambling. No one knows what to do because they've got themselves in a bit of a pickle. So I'm going to read this as well, because I found this the other day. Because everything comes to money, power, control, cloning. They who are of the opinion that money will do everything may very well be suspected to do anything for money. And that's George Savelle. Stop buying things you don't need to impress people you don't even like. Suze Orman. Don't tell me where your priorities are. Show me where you spend your money and I'll tell you what they are. And that's James W. Frick. So why have I read that? I think people need to be a bit more aware that as the consciousness shifts, so do the behaviours. And that's why I read that, because yes, I've said at the very beginning, yes, we need money to buy things and to go and do things. But there's a difference between needing money because of our needs and needing money because of our greed. There's two different things there. And I think there needs to be a shift as we awaken and we start to get more integrity and we start to get more aligned to life and not this fake illusion, aligned to life and what's really important. And what's really important is people, kindness, sharing, I think is caring. And that's what's really important. So I've read that because I want people to realise that there is a shift in consciousness. That's just some people just didn't get the memo. And if they did get the memo, they completely missed it because they're still on an old timeline. And I don't know whether or not you'll make the jump to this timeline now, because you've probably left yourself so far behind and you're still operating in old behaviour, which is ego, which is Piscean age, which is gone. We're in the Aquarius age of the we. So there's a massive gap now that you need to fulfill. And I don't know if you're going to be able to do it. So the message of the story is, don't judge a book by its cover. You don't actually know who they are and what they've done to get to where they are. And just because I don't have, you know, I'm not out there. I'm out there in a different way, promoting different things and doing God's work. And whoever's done my channel, I would strongly recommend from that clip there that you rejig it back to the way it should be and make sure that you're not messing with it, because it's only going to get worse. This is the tip of the iceberg, remember. So I'm going to leave it here. Like, share, subscribe. I don't know where it goes at the minute because obviously someone decides that you know, but obviously not for long. And I'm going to do another one in a minute as well. I will do the scripture, but I'll do it on a separate one now because I've just read it from there anyway, but I'll do a separate one. And oh no, actually I want to read this before I go because it's relevant to what I've just said, and it's about the rich. It's James 4:15, warning to the rich oppressors. Now listen, you rich people, weep and wail because of the misery that is coming upon you. Your wealth has rotted and moths have eaten your clothes. Your gold and silver are corroded. Their corrosion will testify against you and eat your flesh like fire. You have hoarded wealth in the last days. Look, the wages you failed to pay the workmen who mowed your fields are crying out against you. The cries of the harvesters have reached the ears of the Lord Almighty. You have lived on earth in luxury and in self-indulgence. You have fattened yourself in the day of the slaughter, and you have condemned and murdered innocent men who were not opposing you. I think that pretty much answers the question, doesn't it? And that's in James 4:15. The second one, patience is suffering. Be patient then, brothers, until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the land of yield, its valuable crop, and how patient he is for the autumn and spring rains. You too be patient and stand firm, because the Lord is coming near. Don't grumble against each other, brother, or you will be judged. The judge is standing at the door. Brothers, as an example of patience in the face of suffering, take the prophets who spoke the name of the Lord. As you know, we consider blessed those who have persevered. You have heard of Job's perseverance and have seen what the Lord finally brought about. The Lord is full of compassion and mercy. Above all, my brothers, do not swear, but by heaven or by earth or by anything else, let your yes be yes and your no, no, or you will be condemned. So I think I'm going to leave it on that. And I think, you know, for me, I would get some people to read James 4:15 and Romans, because the time is changing and people are on different timelines, and the whole purpose is to shift consciousness. So we wake up, we're a bit more aware, and we actually treat people with kindness and not greed. So first of all, kindness and love, and not this greed and self-gratification, because obviously, as you say, warning to the rich and the oppressors. So I'm going to leave it there, and have a giggle at the brick wall as well, because you're allowed to. And I'll see you on the next one. See you later. Bye.